Last week for the Herr Sprint series, we saw a action-packed multi-groove action track of Atlanta Motor Speedway, which saw Matt Black get his first win on the season in the Sprint series. And we also had a new point lead in Abel, and we'll see what he can do here today. For the first of two road course races in a row for the Herr Sprint series at Circuit of the Americas, 3.426 mile long road course in Texas. And we'll see what happens. There will be a pit stop, and that will determine everything. It is the Texas Grand Prix at Color. Hello everyone, it's Nathan Safety here, and welcome to Circuit of the Americas. And this is going to be an interesting one for race 5 of the season. And we'll see what ends up happening. That pit stop will be the determining factor, along with the start of the race. Can get a little bit chaotic, but we'll see what ends up happening. We got the driver of Echo Evans Ross. We got Track Cross up in the booth here today, and welcome to Coda.
Great to be here. First time calling a Herr Sprint Series race, so been waiting for this one a bit. Happy to be here and excited to get it going.
Absolutely, it's going to be an interesting one. Of course, the full weekend of action here at Cola, and we'll see what ends up happening in the World Cup series. But we'll in that race, of course, and based off of what we've seen in the Sprint series and how there's only 8 laps and 24 cars, how do you think today's going to go here for this one?
Well, I think this race is a perfect embodiment of the title of the series. This is the definition of a sprint, an 8-lap race. Mind you, it is the longest. I believe it's the longest track we go to for this series. I could be wrong on that, but regardless, it's only 8 laps. I'm glad we have a pit cycle thrown in there to add a little extra excitement to it. Traditionally, from what I've seen on road courses, you have your contenders up at the front of the field that qualified well that tend to stay up there unless there's an accident or two. So I'm really excited to see what that pit stop does to throw a wrench into it a little bit.
Oh yeah, that pit stop could really throw a wrench in it, because these guys might pit on lap 4, some might pit on lap 5, and maybe if someone in the back is saving fuel, maybe they can try something and pit on lap 6, but most of the time, we will see around lap 4 or lap 5 split in half, basically, and we'll see on how that goes here today. The point standings so far after the 4th race of the season, and Abel is the new point leader. He has 4 top 10s in the first 4 races in the Sprint series, and he has the 10-point lead over Alexander Rowe in 2nd. Hallie Anderson Jr. is in 3rd, minus 17. Anthony Hernandez, who's back here today, is in 4th, minus 18. Chase McClure is in 5th, minus 20. Carson Miller is in 6th, minus 24. BP Ruiz is in 7th, minus 25. And Williams is in 8th, minus 27. And the rounding out the top 10 is J.O. Wibbleton and Campbell Marsh, both minus 29, respectively. And since this is a 3+ mile long road course, we're going to introduce these drivers and go ahead and get these guys rolling off here today at Circuit of the Americas. It will be the number 87 of Campbell Marsh on the pole to the fastest lap at Atlanta, and this is going to be very important if he wants a shot at the race run here today. And alongside him is the number 56 of Hallie Anderson Jr. Roll number 2 is the number 99 of Corey Case, and the 57 of BP Ruiz. Roll number 3 is the number 98 of of Sammy Oskin, and then the 05 of Sammy Kamara. And then we have the 81 of Michael Lewis, and the 37, the point leader of Aaron Abel. Then we have the number 1 machine of Nathan Faden, and the number 50 of Chase McClure. And then we got the number 02 this week of J.O. Wibbleton, and the number 93 of Matthew Hall. Number 39, that is Trey Smith, and the number 3 is Joshua Nelly. The number 52 of Alexander was second in the point standings this week in the 52. So Stephen Field did not do a good qualifying lap. And the 82 is Carson Miller. And then in the back of the field, we got the number 13 of Warren Smith. Number 96 of Anthony Hernandez. He did not race last week. He is back. But because he didn't race last week, he starts deep in the field here today. And then we got the number 88 of Spencer Lee. The number 64 of Nathan Ajaboye. And then rounding out the field, we have the number 90 of Vinny Shows, who I believe is a former Reign Series champion. And then in last place is the number 97 of Aaron Lewis, one of the OGs on the channel that has made a return here this year. That is the 24 drivers here at Circuit of the Americas, and we are just now down the back stretch and about to enter the stadium section. I'm going to leave it up to you, Jack. Who do you think will win here at Circuit of the Americas?
Before I make that pick, I just want to add in for the viewers at home. I think there was some confusion when going up through the S's and cycling through the field. We do also have, I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you missed a couple. Andrew Williams is in the number 4 this week, and we also have last week's winner Matt Black in the 69. This one, it's a road course. I gotta go with the pole sitter. I'm picking Campbell Marsh at the 87 to win this. As long as he can get through turn 1 clean, I think he's gonna run away with it.
Not bad pit, and we'll see what he can do. Close to the fast lap last week, and pretty well as well. And we'll see what he can do. And yeah, there was a little bit of confusion that confused me in the S's, but forgot to mention that Matt Black won last week. And if he wants to win 2 in a row, like Alexander Rowe did a couple weeks ago, he has to start deep in the field here today. We'll see what ends up happening. Pit stops around lap 4 to lap 5, and lap 1 will definitely be probably the most chaotic lap of the race, and we'll see how that all shakes out. Well, here we go. Race number 5 of the Herr Sprint Series is about to get going here, and it will be Campbell Marsh and the number 56 of Hallie Anderson Jr. And we'll see how everything goes. We are green flag racing for the Texas Grand Prix for the Herr Sprint Series. Now we are. I was a little bit ahead. Now we are going for the Texas Grand Prix. A great start from the number 99. And we'll have to watch this here off the final corner. 3 wide in the S's. And like I mentioned, lap 1 will be the chaotic lap of the race. Especially when you go 3 wide here, 2 and 3 wide through the S's, and up towards the front. They are still side by side between the 99 of Corey Case and Campbell Marsh. And Corey Case on the outside pole is going to take the lead on lap number 1.
Man, I thought I had a layup this week with my pick. Now he's going to work for it. That's disappointing. Oh well, this is what we wanted to see, is some battling. So I am hopeful that the 87, not because I picked him, but for the entertainment of this race, can come back and make a run at it. Again, without adding this pit cycle, I would presume that, you know, your top 5, top 6 would probably be your contenders for the race. So I, again, really excited to see how that plays out. I would have to think the strategy would be around, you'd have to do it on lap 4. These are long laps. I know there's only 8 of them, but they're long laps. A tire where I would expect would make some impact on the race. I wouldn't want to push it too long on the strategy. But we'll have to see. If Corey Case can get pulled away to a big enough lead, he might buy himself some time on that.
Oh yeah, but will be Tyler. The longer the race goes, if these guys don't take tires, that will definitely affect them late. We'll see. There's a lot of unknowns here. I've never really done a race at Coda before. This is actually the first time I've ever done a race here in any of the series I've done. So interesting to see. Look at this move entering the same section. Ruiz to the inside of his teammate of Harley Anderson Jr. And this might be a good place to pass, but almost gets into the side of the 56, and that's going to cost him a spot. Almost contact with the 81. And leading lap number 1 will be the number 99. And a chaotic first lap, the 81. And Michael Lewis might get a 1 down the front stretch. Side by side for the 4th position, actually. The 4th position between Michael Lewis and Harley Anderson Jr.
Hard to keep track of everything on this track. But Michael Lewis is going to make, or I guess not make the move, maintain the position. See, I don't know what's going on either. We're only on lap 2 and we're all over the place. But yes, like you mentioned, Corey Case led that lap. Already 12.5% done this race, just like that. This is going to be a breeze. It's too bad we're paid hourly for this. Single file for the most part, driving up through the S's, except for back in the field. We might have some double file, but that's to be expected. Not really a passing zone anyway. You don't want to go through there double file, or else you're going to lose a lot of ground to the competitors ahead of and behind you. Coming up on one of our bigger passing zones here. Doesn't look like, oh man, that 98 Ozkin. He's doing everything he can to outbrake everybody into every corner. He hasn't got it to work yet, but if he can get close enough, there's going to be a move made. I can already tell. I think he might have something here for Campbell Marsh as we come into one of our other very few passing zones. I thought he was going to run into him the last lap.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Yeah, a couple of these turns. The tight turn before the long back switch, and then the turn that is at the end of the really long back switch is a couple of really good passing zones. And we saw, I believe it was Ruiz who almost got into the got side by side with his teammate in one of these stadium sections turns, and that could be another good passing zone. And we mentioned the back switch turn. Well, the 5 has a hook buckle now, and you can probably guess where that came from. And we'll see how everything works out. A good one. Well, it's good to see Finley Schultz back. Of course, bringing Wilmington's development driver. And great to see her back. And now, lap number 2 is in the books, and we might have a battle for the lead. A great final turn from Campbell Marsh. He might have something for turn number 1. And we're all the way on lap 3 here. And Campbell Marsh is not quite, and again, like you said, Cement Oscar is just outbreaking everybody in almost every single turn.
He's definitely given it the attempt. Campbell Marsh going into turn 1 there gave it a little bit of a peek, trying to do the same move that Corey Case did to him too. He didn't take the lead in turn 1, but he essentially had it. Not quite close enough, unfortunately for him on this lap, but he's still got another 5 attempts in that corner alone, so definitely not over yet. This is shaping up to be a pretty good battle. Taking a few of the corners wide here. Just a, I don't want to say poor, that's not nice, but gonna have to have a better run through the S's than that if he wants to make a run for the lead. With only 8 laps and 2 of them completed, there's no room for failure in a race like this one. So I think he can do it. He's shown signs of it. That runoff of the final turn, this most recent lap, was really strong. So I'm sure he can get another shot at it. Tire's probably getting worn out too, like we mentioned. With an 8-lap race, we've managed to squeeze in a pit cycle. So I would expect the tire wear is set decently high for this race. Can you give us any insight on that one?
Yeah, there should be about 2, maybe 3 seconds to tire fall off at the end of this race. And it's going to be very interesting of what these guys do if they end up doing just fuel only, or if they do tires at the halfway point. That could mean everything. If they don't take tires, then the tire was going to be very bad, and say someone else takes tires, and then that could flip-flop everything. Corey Case is starting to pull away in at number 99, and then Marsh, Louise, Lewis, Hallie Anson Jr. and Louise is all behind him. It's still a very tight field, and that's why that pit stop is going to be so important for these guys, because everybody is so close. And oh my goodness,
Oh no,
the Z5
that's
has
not.
more than a hood buckle. That hood is destroyed now.
I thought we were getting some early takers on the strategy, but I noticed awfully quick.
Oh,
The teammates.
the
Oh, never mind. There's way
teammates.
more than the teammates.
And
Oh,
Alexander Rose second in points. He's trying something.
that was my mistake. It wasn't way more. No, there was way more. I'm lost. I'm sorry. There's some damage on that 64 as well, we noticed as he was turning into his pit stall. I didn't see any on the 96. Was it the 96 of Fernandez?
I
Yes, the
believe so,
96.
yeah.
And the 52 of Rowe. I didn't see any damage. That's an interesting call. I was thinking lap 4 would... This lap was when I expected to see most of the drivers come in, but honestly, I don't hate the coming in early strategy. It's gonna probably hurt a little more, say on lap 7, lap 8 with your tire wear, but who knows? Come in now, get your fresh set, and do your best to run away with it. You're gonna have a clean track when you get back out there, so use them up. That's what they're there for.
Oh my goodness. They are testing the waters with those brakes here in that corner. Yeah, you have a very valid point. I didn't really expect them to pit on lap 3. There's only about 4 or 5 of them, but they're gonna have an open track, and I believe they should be able to make it as like 4 to 6 laps on fuel. It's probably about 5 laps on fuel, I'm gonna be honest. So they are just doing the undercut. Oh my
Oh,
goodness,
that's
they
the
won.
closest it's been.
Lewis gonna almost go side by side. The teammates almost go side by side. And Aaron Abel is doing a good job inside the top 10 still for the point leader entering this one. However, Hallian Jr. is ahead of Aaron Abel here. Top 4 is still under a blanket. The 64 is out already, same with Fernandez. And the 05 is still going but without a hood. And we'll see. On that 4, the halfway point, when I think most of these guys will probably pit. We'll see on how many he's going to pit here on that number 4 halfway through the Texas Grand Prix.
Uh-oh. What happened there?
Oh, that,
Oh,
pit stops.
that was very interesting. Well, I figured there were pit stops coming, but that was interesting as we see the leader on pit road as well. I'm surprised that more of those drivers that pit the last lap made it out as quick as they did. I would have thought the damage on the 05 and the 64 would have kept them in longer, but actually, Tammy Kamara was the first one off the pit road, from what I could tell. I don't know. I would expect that damage from not having a hood at all would be a detriment aerodynamically at this track, but curious to see how
Oh,
that's going to work out.
I think Tyler is going to be a factor because the 98 and 99 just took 2 tires. And they were the only
Oh,
2 to pit. Everyone else is still out. And now Campbell Marsh got a bonus point towards the championship. Michael Lewis is now in second. And then the 2 teammates who I believe the 56 might be holding up the 57.
I agree.
Oh. And now, how about Nathan Faden? The Falcons while on one of the S's. He's now inside the top 5 at the moment. He at Cola.
So now I'm wondering, well, first of all, I'd love to know what the first cycle of drivers did on their pit stops, if they took 4 or if they took 2. I'd be curious to see if anybody... I would think you'd have to at least take 2 this time, but if you're able to stretch it to lap 6, do you play any... Do you do anything foolish and go for none? I don't know. This is quite something else. I'm almost wondering if the 98 was even holding up this 81. I wouldn't be surprised, because now that car in the middle is missing, Lewis is pulling right up on the back bumper of Marsh.
Oh yeah, I think Lewis might have gone held up a little bit. I'm definitely noticing that some cars definitely save their stuff on this first one with the tires, like Nathan Faden, like Michael Lewis, and maybe even the 57, and maybe even the 4 of Anna Williams, with a good one in the middle of this pit cycle. In theory, I think the majority of these guys should pit this time by. This was the average in testing around that 5 more times than not for these guys to pit. So we'll see how everything cycles out here. And 87's in, 81 is in, 56, 57, 1, 4, 50, 37. Literally everyone else is pitting on lap number 5.
Looks like it's going to get awfully tight there on that entry. That scares me, how they slow down so much. And also just directly cut across the track. Yeah. But no, like you said, nobody trying to stretch it to lap 6. I didn't think that was a very good strategy anyway, so I'm glad nobody opted for it. Let's see what they do here. Wow.
Two
They're
tires,
going for the 2.
tires. Oh, a slow stop for the 57.
And he was making progress too. He was all over the back bumper, his teammate, the 56, before this pit stop. Oh no. He's going right to the back.
Yeah, all the way to the back for that number 57. A tough point. And that's the unique thing about the road courses.
Look at this!
And I just realized, look at this! The 99, the 05, the 02, all with the undercut, and now this is possibly going to get messy in the S's.
Oh yeah, this isn't pretty. This is a stack up for sure. Now, one thing worth noting, with 3 laps left, unless Corey Case suffers some sort of mechanical issue, which probably isn't going to happen at Coda, right, Nathan? I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Unless he has some sort of mechanical issue, I think the lead he's got now is absolutely sustainable. But I'd be curious to know if the damage on that 05 is going to hold up the drivers behind him. This battle for second is going to be interesting. Michael Lewis has made it up to 3rd place. Yes, everybody's pit, so this is definitively 3rd place now. So,
yep.
Yeah, that's. Wow, you can't even see Corey. Like he's gone, absolutely gone. But I think this is your 2nd place car for sure, and there's the move being made right now. This.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my God, they're 3 wide. This is the move.
3 wide.
Remember who I said the outbraking? Oh, he didn't do it. He kind of let off. I thought we were gonna have 4 cars taken out of the race right there.
Yeah, you said Oscar has been one of the most aggressive drivers for the outbreaking, and he outbroke everybody and made 3 wide on a road course at Coda, nevertheless. This would be the last place I would see that. 98 does have some rear damage, but at this point, I don't think it matters. Look at the 05. It doesn't have a freaking hose and is running in 3rd. It's going to be interesting. 2 laps to go. We'll, of course, see of what the gap is between the 99 and the 81. Corey Case with the undercut, the 81 with the overcut. But there's only going to be 2 laps left, and the 99 is going to have a huge advantage over the field.
That gave me a little bit of a heart attack, I'm not going to lie. It just looked like he was going so slow, I forgot they were coming out of a 90-degree left-hander to come to the line. So forgive me for that. I thought we had troubles for the leader, which I just got done saying wouldn't happen. Well,
that's
what
not.
do we got here?
That's not a good sign. No
Oh no!
Oh no! And with the
leader.
point leader.
I was actually just about to ask. I wonder where he's running because I saw it wasn't a top 10. Ah, you don't need that, Hood.
Well, I don't know what happened to the 05. I don't think that had any correlation with each other, but now that's going to be interesting. Because the 99, I believe, pit with the same time with... Wait, no. 98...
No,
Yeah, the 98 and 99 pit on lap 4. So never mind, I stand corrected.
Yeah, they pit it halfway.
But everyone else that pit on lap 3, I don't know if they can make it with if still 5 just didn't get enough fueling. I'm not entirely sure. Might have a battle for the podium spot between Nathan Faden and Samet Oskin. Great one from this O2 doing the undercut. We'll see if this O2 can make it. Because the 05, his teammate, couldn't.
Did we check if any of the others did? I believe Hernandez was another one that had to pit on that same lap. I think Rowe was as well, actually. Alexander Rowe pit on lap 3, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe
And
so.
there was one other that I can't remember. I believe it was the 64.
Yeah, I believe it was the 64. So we'll see if those guys can make it.
That's concerning for anybody trying that strategy. You should be able to. I wouldn't see why they couldn't do that. Fuel run of roughly 4 to 6 laps. That would leave them with, well, 5 to go. At the time of the pit.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on.
I guess we'll just wait and see.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on those too. Because he was one of the cars that did the undercut. Meanwhile, it's going to be the white flag for Corey Case with a huge lead. And the 02 is staying out. So I don't know what necessarily happened to the 05. But none of the cars that were iffy on fuel are pitting. So it was just that 05, unfortunately. Meanwhile, it is the final lap. Corey Case lost 2 seconds last time by, but I don't think it's going to be enough for Michael Lewis here.
No way. Not happening. This one is... There's not even any point in watching the leader. He could just limp it home from here. Definitely not an... Oh, sorry. You go right ahead.
I will just mention a great one from Anna Williams here. Just snuck inside the top 5 out of nowhere without even mentioning him. And how about Matt Black? Last week's runner started mid-pack. I think he's inside the top 7 as well.
Yeah, really good run, especially with the starting position a little further back in the field. Actually, I think him and Andrew started on the same row, if I'm not mistaken. This guy's got some speed in it. He passed Campbell Marsh on this lap. Uh-oh. I might have spoke too soon.
Campbell Marsh wants that spot back.
He wants that spot back, yeah. I was just going to say he was going around the O2 of J.R. Ribbleton as well, and he's on the outside, but he should have a run off the corner. Oh, absolutely, yeah. He's got it. That 69 is fast right now. It's unfortunate for him that this is the last lap, but he's going to be all right. Finishing, that would be in the 6th position. Yes, 6th position. And as well as Andrew, great run for him too. Mention was made of it last week about the winless streak, which is extensive to say the least. So
400 plus days.
Yeah, exactly. That day is coming. This is not going to be a win. This is going to be a top 5, which is a great run, but that day is coming. However, on this particular day, today is now for Corey Case, it would look like.
A fantastic strategy call. Did the undercut, got all the trap position that he needed, and off of turn number 20, I believe, Corey Case and Trackhouse Racing. Trackhouse Racing is going to get another win early in the season, and off of the final corner and down the front stretch, it will be a race victory for the number 99 of Corey Case wins the Texas Grand Prix at Circuit of the Americas.
What a just dominating run. Look, another 2 seconds were chipped away from that. If we had a few more laps, Michael Lewis was going to get there. Mind you, we would have had to have 4 more laps, but...
Yeah, maybe have that play out in the World Cup Series race, and maybe that could be interesting, to say the least. But a great run from Corey Case. I was not expecting these guys to pit on lap 3. I'm gonna be completely honest, that never happened in testing. it was lap 4 or lap 5, so a handful of cars did the undercut, and it worked out for Corey Case. Came in here today in the 13th position in points, so I would imagine he could make it into the top 10 leaving here today. But it's going to be interesting of how the points will shake out. Hallie Anderson Jr. got 7th, meanwhile unable to finish deep in the field here today, and actually the 52 is out.
I figured that must have happened when we were going through the field, checking on some of the early pit stop takers. What an awkward way of saying that. I never saw the 52 at all. I didn't want to take away from the battle on the track, but I did notice that the 52 was nowhere to be seen. I assumed something must have happened, and that's unfortunately the case, as Alexander Rowe was unable to finish the race today.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He didn't have any damage when he pitted, and oh, well, there's skid marks in that corner, so we might have an idea of what happened. Of course, anything that happened today, there's a world course would be in the corner of the screen. But a great race here today, and the first of back-to-back world courses for her sprint series, as we will go to one of my hidden gems and one of my personal favorite world courses of Willow Springs next week. But a great win from Corey Case in that number 99 machine, and he was able to hang on and get the win. Michael Lewis got 2nd, Oskin in 3rd, Faden in 4th, Anna Williams in 5th. Matt Blatt, last week's winner, got 6th here today. Hallie Anderson Jr. in 7th, Campbell Motion 8th, Warren Smith and Trey Smith rounds out the top 10. Chase McClure, Anthony Hernandez, Nathan Adjaboye, Joshua Nelly, and Lutz finished shows. BB Ruiz after that terrible pit stop. Matthew Hall, Spencer Lee, Carson Miller, J.R. Wibbleton, and Abel. The point leader, unfortunately, will probably be... unfortunately for Aaron Abel, the point leader will probably be Hallie Anderson Jr. going into next week. And then Sammy Camara, 23rd, and something happened to Alexander Rowe, who finished 24th. A very strategy-filled race. Definitely probably the most calm sprint series race so far, but even then we had a accident with Alexander Rowe. So, what are you looking forward to for the World Cup Series and when you get your chance out on the track here at Coda?
I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous for tomorrow. Road course has never really been the forte, I will say. I think this race, I got to go back and check the tapes, but I think last year at Coda was a relatively successful weekend for myself and the 39 team. But it was great to be up here in the booth today watching the Sprint Series competitors compete. You know, just get an idea of what some of the lines are, if anything's changed from last year. Get an idea of what the strategy is. I know our race is a little bit longer, but it gives an idea of what we're going to be doing. So it's going to be exciting. It's always exciting in the World Cup Series. Same with the Herr Sprint Series, I will say. Yeah, just excited to get it going.
Alright, it's going to be a fun weekend here. We got a lot of action at Circuit of the Americas. And Corey Case is going to be celebrating in victory lane with a race win here. And we'll see if we can translate that into another World Course win next week at Willow Springs International for a standalone event for the Sprint Series. Thanks to Jack Haas for joining me up here today. Good luck in the World Cup Series this weekend. And once again, congratulations to Trackhouse Racing and Corey Case on the race win. And the points will be at the end of the video. We will see you guys next week at Willow Springs for race number 6 of the season.